All right, guys, it's Coach Coltharp again. I know it's been a while. Today's video, we're going to talk about our 2-platoon small school practice schedule that I've sent out through our Air Raid Nation newsletter. You guys have been asking me all kind of questions. Hopefully, I'm going to answer some of those questions in today's video. Hey, and listen, it's going to pay to stay to the end because the nugget, the thing that's going to make this thing worth your while, is in the video close. Stay tuned. Coaches, welcome back to the 92 Meshgroup presents Air Raid Nation channel. This is Coach Coltharp, and we're knee-deep into our season, and everybody's been so busy. I haven't had really a chance to drop videos like I normally do, but hey, you guys who are coaching, you understand how it is. So, you know, we've had a great year so far, man. We haven't played any schools that are at our level, and we've had some big scoring opportunities in our season, and it's just been... You know, it's been a great experience for me being back with Coach Salas and really growing as an air raid coach and doing some different things. And a lot of you guys who follow me on Twitter and other social medias at Coach Coltharp or over on our Air Raid Nation Facebook channel, Facebook group, you know that we've had some big things. We scored 90 points in a game. We've scored 73 points in a game. We scored 50 points in a game. Last couple of games we've been struggling a little bit. We've been playing schools that have like, you know, 1,000 more kids than us. And because of COVID, we've had to drop schedule people who scheduled in our division and play up a division or two. So, you know, all that being said, man, we're still being competitive. Our guys are working really, really hard. But what I wanted to share with you is kind of the unique way that we practice. Our school has like 500 kids, but we completely two-platoon on JV and on varsity. And people wonder, how in the world can you do that and how can you be effective? So what today's video is going to do is I'm going to go through our practice schedule with you and show you how we do that and how we make some of those decisions, man. And if these are the kind of videos you like, man, please, hey, drop a like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, man, I'd really appreciate it. As we get closer to the end of the year, you know, we'll start dropping more regular videos. And right now we're just going to drop videos that I think you guys would like. And, you know, so, you know, please, hey, man, drop a like, subscribe, and all that being said, man, hey, let's jump into the video. All right, guys, here we are, and I kind of got the PDF of our practice schedule up there for you to look at. And as you can see, it's a 24-period practice. You know, we go 2 hours on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. This is kind of our main deal. Mondays, we watch film for an hour. And then we go outside for about an hour and a half. So we keep our kids for about 2.5 hours a day. And it's really special kind of how we do that. And this 2-hour practice includes our special teams. And because we're two platoons, we're able to keep that practice to a certain level. Now, to answer a bunch of the questions that I get from people, we have a less than 500 kids at our school. You know, our JV team has 23, 24 guys on it. Our varsity team travels probably about 26 real varsity guys. And then in North Carolina, we're able to do what's called 8-quarter, which means we can bring at least 10 JVs with us, and they have 8 varsity quarters that they play. So we allow all of our JVs to dress and travel if they choose to do so. So, you know, normally on a Friday night, like last night, we probably had, you know, 40 guys on the sideline, but, you know, some of those guys weren't fully dressed, you know, and then we have some guys who go back and forth. So those kind of answer some of those questions. If you have any specific questions, man, you can either hit me up on Twitter or drop a comment in the video, and I'll be more than happy to get back with you, because this is really unique to us. So let me go through the practice schedule with you, and you know, and kind of give you an idea. If you want a copy of this practice schedule, there's a link in the description. You can join our Air Raid Nation mailing list. I send stuff like this out all the time. If you want to see some cut-ups of our season, right now I've got our 90-point game, our 73-point game, and our 50-point game over in my Patreon. If you want to join Patreon, you can see the cut-ups of those offensive performances and kind of see what we're doing offensively. There's a bunch of other stuff over there, some clinic videos and some drill tapes and things like that. So, you know, we'll be adding stuff to that as we move through the offseason. I'll be doing an air raid offensive line stuff on there, some stuff. There's some running game stuff and some drills and things like that as well. So if you want to join the Patreon over at patreon.com/92 Meshgroup and support what we're doing, man, I really appreciate it. I do a lot of these videos, man, but the software I use, there's a monthly fee too, and a bunch of other stuff, man. So there's some other costs, man. So if you want to help me offset that with a donation through our Patreon, man, I'd really appreciate it. So let's jump into it. So our first period of the day, defensively, we do what's called key drill. And some of you guys who followed me for a while have heard me talk about key drill. And basically, key drill is kind of half-speed walkthrough where we show the running game and things like that. And we make sure that the defensive guys know how to flow and get to where they're supposed to be. So if there's a down block, the front side linebacker, we teach them. We make sure they walk through their scrapes and everybody's fitting and things like that. So while the defense is on their end doing that, and they have the JV offense with them while they're doing that. So the JV offense scouts the key drill, and then the JV defense scouts our walkthrough, and that's when we're putting new plays in, or maybe we're seeing a front that we haven't seen for a while. We walk through our counter, our outside zone, or some special, pass play or tag that we're working on. Like for this past week, we were working on a rub technique for our shallow. So we walked through that during that 5-minute period. And then we go to our special forces period. And during special forces, the offensive line is over there with me for 15 minutes, and that's when we do all our pass fundies. And our pass fundies, I'm going to do some videos on those. But, basically we're doing our mirror drill and our bull drill and our combo and our push-pull and our, our punch drill and things like that. So we go through that with 15 minutes. And during that time, the JV offensive linemen are with me as well. So, I've got everybody, our varsity and our JV guys are doing all the fundamental drills together for 15 minutes. For about 5 minutes of that time, we're doing, catching balls, snappers are snapping, punters are punting, and things like that. And, our returners are working on returning their drills and things like that. And then, that lasts maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And then we do our special team of the day, whether it's punt, kickoff return, or field goal, whatever that is. So we spend 15 minutes of doing that. And then we do 10 minutes of team tackling. We call that our Bama drill. And so we do tackles and takeaways. We practice recovering fumbles, picking them up off the ground. We practice takeaways, tackling and stripping the ball. And then we do angle tackle and things like that. It's very controlled, but we tackle every day. So that's our first half hour of practice pretty much every day on our regular day. So we're doing our walkthrough install. We're doing 15 minutes of special teams. Offensive line is getting their pass fundies done during that time. And then we're doing our team tackling. So that's kind of what happens during that period. And then we go to our fundamentals. During the fundamental period now, the offensive line is doing the run fundies. We're doing, if it's a gap day, we're doing our angle boards and our shoot drill and things like that. So we do that for 15 minutes. If it's zone day, we're doing our outside zone drill. We're doing our running around our hand and doing our solid and our takeovers and all that stuff. So we do that for 15 minutes. And then everything else is pretty much standard air raid offensively. We're doing settle and noose. We're doing pat and go. Defensively, they're doing pursuits and fronts and alignments and just doing the little things that we want to do. And then they have 15 minutes of defensive team fundamentals. And once again, we two platoon offensively and defensively on JV as well. So the JV linebackers, the JV D-line, JV DBs, they're worked in right with our varsity guys. So everybody's working together. And because it's a small school, you might have 7 defensive linemen, you might have 8 DBs. So it's not like you're overwhelmed. And just to kind of answer a question, we have 5 coaches on our staff. We had a wide receiver coach, but we lost him in the summertime because of some business things. He works off campus, and a lot of you guys understand how that is. But basically, I coach the linemen. Coach Salas takes the skill guys. We have a D-line coach, a linebacker coach, and a DB coach. And then once we get, we'll talk about how we share those guys offensively here in a second. So, you don't have to have a huge staff to do this. It's something that's really, really amazing. So while Coach Salas is doing routes on air and that's when they're doing quick game of the day, all that stuff, they're doing that stuff down there. We're doing we're doing run fundies, then we have a 5-minute walkthrough, and that's where I'm making sure, if we're seeing blitzes or different fronts, if it's a gap day, we'll walk through our counter and things like that to make sure we're good. And then we do 15 minutes of one-on-ones. That's when the D line comes over to us, and we do one. I do one period of just making sure 5 minutes. Hey, let's work on our fundamentals. This is what we're doing wrong. Blah 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 blah. They come over to us, the D line, because the D line and the O line, we kind of practice like right next to each other. So a lot of times it may be 15 minutes, it may be 10 minutes. That's why the schedules might say 15 minutes of fundies, 10 minutes of one-on-ones. Over here, it might say 15 minutes of one-on-ones. It just depends. But we rotate through. The varsity all probably get 2 reps in one-on-one. The JVs get, and when I say 2 reps, they go twice. So it could be four reps of one-on-ones. The JVs might get 2. And if it's a Wednesday, the varsity might get, 2 reps of one-on-ones. The JVs might get 4, because our JVs in North Carolina play on Thursdays. So you can see right now, while we're doing one-on-one, the varsity is doing Skelly Pro. So it's really, really important for you to kind of work on those kind of things. And then one day a week, we bring the outside linebackers over and they do pass rush. Once that's over, we go to our screen period. While we're doing screens, the varsity defense is doing stunts. So they'll be over on the barrels. They're doing their little blitz period and stunts and stuff like that. We do screens for 5 minutes. We have a screen of the day, whether it's our outside screen, whether it's our RPO screen, whether it's our tailback screen, whatever it is. So we do a 5-minute screen period. And then we go to blitzing inside. And while we're doing blitzing inside, that's when the running backs will come with me. We'll go down to the defensive side of the field. The wide receivers and DBs will work their one-on-ones with the quarterbacks. And then we go down there and we're doing either inside drill or pass stunts. And sometimes that's a 5-minute period. Sometimes it's a little bit longer. And then we go to our scout offense. And then so basically our ones scout for our one team D. We may rotate a guy in, while that's happening. But while I'm running the scout offense, Coach Salas has the JV offense, and the JV defense is scouting for the the JV offense, and they're working on 15 minutes of team offense on the JVs. They service each other and we service each other, and we do a really good job of practicing. So we're not so concerned about getting hurt. We stay up, we thud. Early in camp, we use arm shields a lot so we don't beat each other up. But we're really good at servicing each other. And so then we do that, we flip it. He'll come down with me, and then the JV defensive coordinator and the JV defensive line coach will go down to, the defensive line coach will go down to the JV end, and then the JV offense will scout for the JV defense. And so that's how that works. So we do that 15 and 15. Then we have a situational period, whether it's goal line, we'll put our goal line set out there, or, whether it's, third down, whatever it is. We do 5 minutes of some kind of situation. And then we do something that's kind of unique for us. We have our competition period. And so at Hopkins, wearing our gold jerseys at practice is kind of a big deal. It's always a big deal. So whoever wears competition gets to wear gold the next day. The other team has to wear white. And we make it a kind of a big deal, who's got the gold jersey. And so the JVs will go against the JV defense. And, it may be 4 plays from the 10, like on our overtime period. It may be 4 plays from the 40. It may be a goal line session. But, whoever wins gets to wear, the gold jerseys the next day. And in JV, they wear black. So the winners of the competition gets to wear black. The other team has to wear like an off gold. We try to compete as much as we can. And then varsity, it's gold and white. So that's kind of how our practice schedule works. We do have, we have practice cards and things like that, but it's a 24-period practice. It's 2 platoons. I've had questions, how do you decide who gets what? We're an air raid team, so we're going to take the best skill guys on offense. If you feel like you can score points, you better, you better be able to score points, because that's what air raid is about, scoring points. And so we're going to put our best guys on offense skill wise, and then we put our best linemen go on defense. So we put our best linemen on defensive line, and then everybody else kind of fills up. So like that. So this is how our practice schedule works, man. I hope this guys can help some of you out. Like I said, if you want a copy of this, there'll be a link in the description so you can get that. For me, it's always been about trying to be efficient. I used to be one of those two-way guys, and guys are going to be skeptical about it. You're going to give me that. Well, how do you do this? I can't believe you do that, and I just can't do this in my school. And listen, man, really, it's about you as a coach committing yourself. And the one thing I will say about this, man, you're going to maximize the number of reps you get on offense. And then here's the key, and I hope you stayed in the video this long, because this is what's the best part about it. This will improve the morale and culture of your team. Okay, and I'm going to say that one more time. This will improve the morale and culture of your team. Okay, because more guys are going to play, more guys are going to feel value, more guys are going to work their butts off because they know that on Friday nights they play a role on your team. Too many times we as coaches have guys on our sideline who probably aren't the best guy, but if you trained them up during the week, could be contributors. Okay. And then we have another kid who's just, working his tail off, but in the fourth quarter, because he never leaves the field, he's not as valuable. So, this is something you want to think about if you're trying to build a culture, if you're trying to, add value to every guy on your team and make them feel special. 2 platoons a way you can do it, especially at a small school. I hope this video has helped you out, guys, man. I really appreciate it if you drop a like on the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I wish you would. I miss you guys, man. We're going to get some more videos out to you soon, man. Hit me up on Twitter at Coach Coltharp, and as always, spin it to win.